Right now at 5, Devil's Den State Park stands silent as police continue their hunt for a suspect in a chilling double homicide.
And we've got some scattered showers, thunderstorms out there this morning, and we'll talk about how long those will stick around and the nice temperatures that are on the way coming up.
Plus, a Hill Street standoff ends peacefully when a barricaded suspect surrenders to SWAT teams. The man exits through a back door with a towel over his head.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Thursday, July the 31st is the last day of July.
Here we are. Kind of flew by. I know it's been hot.
Yeah, we've talked about it. The heat made it slow down a bit there for a little while. Right. But this year, ever since the pandemic, it seems like each year goes by faster and faster. I don't know what the story is there, but it needs to stop. But we are finally getting some rain. So I walked out this morning. It wasn't raining in Joplin at 2:45 this morning, but the temperature was warm. It was almost 80 degrees, but each time the wind would blow, it was a cool breeze, and it was very, very nice. And now we've got rain showers out there and some thunderstorms. Let's take a look at first our camera in downtown Pittsburgh, and there it is. Roads there are starting to dry out because Pittsburgh kind of in between some showers. MoDOT camera 20th and range line. The rain actually that we saw in Joplin a moment ago is just beginning to ramp up again momentarily, but that's why these roads here are freshly wet. Here's the Skywatch Storm Tracker. There's the heavier showers that just pushed through Joplin, rolling to the east. We've got rain stretching back across a good portion of the area. We also have some dry spots out there. We also have other showers, little thunderstorms. In fact, the only lightning we're seeing, at least in terms of cloud-to-ground lightning, is back here into parts of southern Newcastle County. That's it. We do have some heavier showers. We are looking at additional development of some more showers and storms, and you can see this activity not doing much, but if you look, you'll see little pop-up showers here, there, and eventually they'll start to fill in again. We also did have some severe thunderstorm warnings yesterday. In fact, going back several hours here, you can see where we had some that pushed through southeast Kansas. We started with some in our northern counties. So we mentioned it was a possibility, and it certainly was, and we certainly saw some stronger storms. Not anticipating anything strong or severe with the activity that we're going to see today. We'll have, again, scattered shower storms. Could get some new development by this afternoon. It will be isolated, and believe it or not, it'll probably be a little more isolated than what Future Track is showing here. And then as we head later into the day, that is going to clear out, and our temperatures are going to be much better. In fact, I mentioned it was almost 80 when I walked out the door in Joplin this morning. Not anymore. 72. Pittsburgh, 70. That's about where our average lows should be. We've got the northeasterly wind starting to build in. We've got some warm spots. Stockton, 75. Look at Sedan sitting at 69. Now down south, Miami, Veneta, Grove, Jay, you all haven't had the rain. You haven't had that front fully pushed through yet, so you're still into the upper 70s. But you will eventually begin to cool back. So we'll have scattered storms again through the day. Those chances gradually coming to an end by this afternoon, early evening. I did not change those numbers. I changed everything else except those temperature numbers. So that's not right. All right, we're looking at highs actually a little cooler than that. I'll get that corrected. Highs today, though, low to mid 80s across the area. And the northeast wind is right, too, at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. We're going to talk about how long the cool weather lasts and when the heat will return, because it will return here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, an intense manhunt continues in northwest Arkansas for a suspect wanted in a double murder. Devil's Den State Park was notably quiet. The frequently busy summer season of campers and hikers are missing from the campgrounds as police continue to search for answers and a suspect in connection with Saturday's double homicide. That's when investigators say Clinton and Kristen Brink were attacked and killed while hiking with their 2 young daughters. Authorities say the couple died protecting their children. Park rangers say the 2 sisters escaped uninjured and walked to the visitor center for help. Bo Russell spoke with residents who live near the state park, who all say they're on the edge after the killings.
We live so close to the den, so we go down there all the time just to go hiking and stuff. Man, like someone's still on the loose, and that's just very, very scary.
Dalton Hayes is one of 4 residents living near Devil's Den that I spoke with today. He says he hikes the trails often and never thought something like this could happen. According to audio obtained from police, the deadly attack happened on the main Devil's Den trail.
Found the victims down here. They're on the lower Devil's Den trail. I've got two bodies down here.
Hayes says he's concerned the suspect hasn't been found or identified.
It makes me like lose hope because, you know, it's Devil's Den. There's like no cameras, like no service. It's very easy for someone to just come and go out of there.
While law enforcement is asking residents and park visitors to comb video and images taken, many residents I talked to who have cameras on their property say police haven't stopped by to ask questions.
No one's came here to like speak to us, but I haven't got information. It seems like information is very limited. But we do hope like information comes out soon. They're able to like catch this person because it's just like crazy that they're still out there. It's been like almost 4 days now. I think they should be talking to someone just to get like ring camera footage or something.
The Arkansas State Police continues to ask for the public's help in trying to find this person of interest. They're urging those who visited the park on July 26 to share any relevant photos or videos they may have. They're also asking area residents to share any security camera or game footage, and they're urging people not to post it online, but instead share it directly with police. The Carthage Police Department issues an endangered person advisory. Authorities say 17-year-old Andrina Drew Bussey left her home July 17th and has not been heard from since. She was last seen wearing a white shirt and plaid pajama pants. Anyone with information about Andrina should contact the Carthage Police Department. Well, Webb City man is now facing multiple charges following a standoff last night in a Joplin neighborhood. Police say the standoff started when a man fled from an SUV in front of his house on Hill Street and barricaded himself inside his home. A firearm was recovered nearby. SWAT surrounded the house and deployed gas around 9:45 p.m. The man then surrendered through a back door with a towel over his head. Now, that man, Christopher Dunn, was arrested on felony warrants, including felon in possession of a firearm. Now, although authorities say new charges for resisting arrest have been forwarded to Jasper County prosecutors. The Jasper County prosecutor also charged a passenger in the SUV, Toria Harbin, with felon in possession of a firearm. The gun in her possession was reported stolen after an April burglary at Liberty Pond in Galena, Kansas. Well, tarantulas are on the move in the 4 states. According to the Missouri Department of Conservation, it's officially mating season. As KOAM's Lonnie Walton reports, while these hairy creatures may send a chill down your spine, they actually play a vital role in controlling local bug populations.
But out in nature, that's where you find the peace and the release and reset.
Mary Nichols and Summer Myers are having fun in the park. They say they love nature and all the elements that come with it, including tarantulas.
Everyone, people get afraid of things when they shouldn't because they look different or they seem scary, but it's just a God's creature to me.
Well, hopefully a lot more people feel the way Nichols does, because Francis Gillespie from the Missouri Department of Conservation says, have no fear.
All the fear factor that Hollywood has put in tarantulas, big venomous spiders that are going to hunt you down, no.
Like many spiders, tarantulas are venomous, but experts say they aren't considered dangerous to humans.
They're very timid. The only way they would bite you if you were trying to catch them. They would much rather be away from you than around you. You won't find them crawling in your bed in the middle of the night.
A wolf spider, I owned one for a while as a pet, and its name was Mavis. Everyone was afraid of it, but I wasn't.
So where can you find them?
Find them crawling on glades. They like rocky areas, and as I said, this is the mating season. Males are looking for females, so that means after they're bred, females will be looking for places to have their babies.
I wouldn't want one on my face. I'm not afraid of them.
And if you're afraid you're going to get bitten, experts just say, just leave them alone. Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
According to the Missouri Department of Conservation, the Texas brown, also known as the Missouri tarantula, is the only native tarantula in Missouri. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell cites tariff impacts as interest rates stay steady, while President Trump promises more money will pour into America. Plus, your heart may be older than you think. Researchers find most Americans' heart ages faster than their bodies, with men's hearts aging 7 years ahead. We'll take a look. And after days of heat, rain chances are creeping back into the picture. Chris is tracking the storms and what it means for your weekend. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now, 5:09. We'll be right back. Well, topping Nation Watch, the White House is announcing more trade deals with just 1 day before President Trump's new round of higher tariffs kick in. The administration is also sharpening its focus on the hunger crisis in Gaza. CBS News correspondent Jared Hill begins the latest on the economy from New York.
South Korea is the latest country to make a trade deal with the U.S. President Donald Trump posted online that South Korean imports will be taxed at 15%, adding Seoul will invest $350 billion in the U.S. and purchase $100 billion in energy products.
Money is going to pour into the United States like we've never seen before.
The president is promising to raise tariffs on most international goods this Friday. He's announced 25% tariffs on goods from India and has signed an executive order for 50% tariffs on Brazilian products.
Critics said that our tariffs would hurt the economy, but the data shows the exact opposite.
But Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell has cited tariff impacts for the Fed's decision to hold interest rates steady for a seventh straight month.
Higher tariffs have begun to show through more clearly to prices of some goods, but their overall effects on economic activity and inflation remain to be seen.
Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
The White House tells CBS News details about a new Gaza aid plan President Trump announced this week are coming soon. And still to come, the end of an era. E! News announces its final TV broadcast after 34 years. We'll take a look. Plus, rain returns to the forecast. Chris will have another look at your Thursday forecast when we come back. A gathering of Deadheads in San Francisco in honor of the Grateful Dead 60th anniversary and the TV broadcast that's coming to an end. Christian Benavides has your eye on entertainment.
It's the end of an era for celebrity broadcast news. E! News has announced it will air its final TV broadcast in late September after a 34-year run. The 11 o'clock broadcast was revived in 2022 after a pause due to the pandemic in 2020. Over the years, stars from Ryan Seacrest to longtime actor Jason Kennedy were at the helm. The E! News brand says it is now shifting its focus to digital and that it will still host red carpet events. The Property Brothers have a new show, Chasing the West, where the duo get in touch with their country roots.
We grew up on a ranch, a horse ranch, and so it was really nostalgic for us in this show to actually go back to those roots. I just loved sitting around a campfire as the sun was going down. My dad would be playing the guitar, we'd all be singing. That, for me, just brings back the fondest memories.
Drew and Jonathan Scott's new show follows builders and real estate pros helping families seeking to escape city life for life out in the country. You can catch Chasing the West Wednesdays on HGTV. A 3-day concert with tens of thousands of fans is being held in San Francisco to mark the 60th anniversary of the Grateful Dead.
60,000 people coming from all over to celebrate the legacy of the band and their music.
Dead and Company, which features original Grateful Dead members Bob Weir and Mickey Hart, will play at Golden Gate Park's Polo Field starting Friday. General admission tickets for all 3 days are a staggering $635. The Grateful Dead are a symbol of San Francisco and its counterculture. That's your eye on entertainment. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
Let's take it over down to Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got some scattered showers and storms out there this morning. We told you they'd be coming, and here they are. Even had, unfortunately, some severe weather last night. No severe weather expected today, but these storms are going to, A, bring us some much-needed rain, and B, help with our temperatures. Details on all of that when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now is 5:19. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:21 on this Thursday morning. We're starting with the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We've got some scattered showers out there, some heavy rain tracking east along I-44, some also moderate showers and some thunderstorms. In fact, the only cloud-to-ground lightning being picked up right now in our immediate area is in parts of Nowata County and starting to enter far western Craig County into northeastern Oklahoma. We are getting little things that are trying to develop back behind all of this, and progressively we should see new development. You can see how this line is just kind of started to die out, but it was initially. We had severe thunderstorm mornings with this line. We had a few severe thunderstorm mornings with the isolated storms ahead of this line yesterday afternoon and evening, and you can see the outflow boundary coming off of this thing from when it was a little stronger, but not strong enough to trigger any storms to the south. So what we'll do is we'll just watch for some expected redevelopment over the next little while back behind this, because we're not going to be quite done with showers and storms just yet. By noon, they're isolated, and that's the the other thing I want to emphasize is we've got the scattered storm chances today, but there's a fair number of us who may not see anything, as this is expected to remain fairly confined in the same zone as we head into the afternoon. Now, once we get about 5, 6 o'clock, all of this to begin to fizzle out there. Future Track is suggesting early tomorrow morning, maybe an isolated shower, rumble of thunder south of I-44. It is a very remote chance. I know Future Track's got a lot of it up there, makes it look like it's a lot. It really isn't at this point, but if that changes, obviously we'll tell you. But we could get an isolated shower to south of I-44 tonight. After that, there's really not much to show on the Future Track at this point heading into the weekend. We've got partly cloudy skies. Well, really mostly cloudy skies for today. Mostly cloudy, eventually thinning out, becoming partly cloudy for our Friday. And as we go into Saturday, same situation. We'll have some partly cloudy skies and otherwise temperatures below normal. And that is so nice to say. And one thing you may not even realize it was missing. No heat index tracker on here today. No heat alerts to tell you about. No need to remind you of heat safety tips, at least for today. But that will begin to change again as we head into next week. All right, wet roads here. 7th and Range Line in Joplin. As again, we just had a heavier shower roll through, brought some decent rain. It has moved out, drying out momentarily. Of course, more showers on the way, and that's the whole nature of scattered storms. They stop for a minute, and then you might get another one. We'll have scattered storms through the morning. Look at these temperatures. They are phenomenal. Yesterday, we started in the low 80s, made it to about 93 by 11 o'clock. We're just kind of slowly rising through the mid to upper 70s through the morning hours today. Into the afternoon, look at that number too. I like it. It's not 99, it's not 100, it's 83. It's several degrees below our average high. We'll be eventually into the low to mid 80s. Some of you get a little more sunshine, might be a little closer to the mid 80s, but you'll still be below normal. Scattered storms, northeast winds 5 to 10. We'll have mostly cloudy skies overnight tonight and eventually falling back into the mid 70s by 10. And then this overnight low, it is almost going to feel cold by tomorrow morning as we fall back into the mid 60s. A bit breezy as well. Northeast winds gusting to 20. Over the next several days, things begin to change again. Now into Friday, Saturday, not too bad. Low mid 80s. Sunday, we're seasonably warm here. So we're seasonably hot, however you want to describe 90. Could get some thunderstorms late Sunday into early Monday, so that helps with our temperatures one more day. And then as we roll into next week, yeah, I don't like it either. I know you don't like it, but temperatures begin climbing back into the upper 90s once again. Maybe some pop-up storms next Wednesday, but we'll have to go back to some of those heat safety precautions next week. So between here and there, though, enjoy it. Enjoy this weekend. It's going to be pretty pleasant. Nice opportunity to get outside, take care of things you need to take care of because, as I mentioned, it's going to heat up again next week. That's a check of your forecast. We're going to toss it over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, fewer teens and young adults are vaping in states that ban flavored e-cigarettes. A study from Mass General Brigham showed e-cigarette use among people ages 18 to 24 dropped more than 6% in states with bans compared to states without bans. But the bans may have mixed results. Cigarette use among young people is nearly 2% higher than expected in states that passed bans. And most Americans' heart age is several years older than their actual age. Researchers at Northwestern University calculated people's heart age based on their risk for cardiovascular disease. Now, they found men on average had a heart age 7 years older than their actual age, and women's hearts were 4 years older on average than their real age. The gap was even wider for Black and Hispanic people. And a new study in the journal Neurology finds women in their childbearing years, ages 18 to 40, are less likely to receive drugs to manage and delay multiple sclerosis than men. Researchers say the possibility of pregnancy factored into the lower number for women when used early. MS drugs can help delay the risk of long-term disability. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, 4 historic buildings at the Crawford County Fairgrounds get new life. The Restore the 4 project preserves 1936 WPA structures for future generations.
And we've got some scattered showers, thunderstorms out there for some of us. Not expecting severe weather, but rain and cooler temperatures. Look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, Angels Cafe returns to the Crawford County Fair.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:29. I'm Elise Noe.
Hi, Chris Warner. It's Thursday, July the 31st, last day of the month. And in November, we have something interesting. Some of you may have seen this. I saw it yesterday.
Oh, no.
Okay? Just something of interest. There's a celestial object that will be near Earth by November. Some believe it is not a natural phenomenon. They believe it is some kind of alien craft or probe. So I don't know.
I don't know. I'm intrigued.
We'll see what happens with it. But there are some that do believe that. So you probably have seen some of the posts. I think I saw it from the New York Post actually yesterday. So just an interesting thing. We'll have to wait and see what November brings.
Yes, we will.
In the meantime, we are bringing some, well, I'm not bringing it. Mother Nature has brought us some cooler temperatures and some rain chances. We can start with a live look downtown Pittsburgh. I do not see any alien spacecraft in that particular view, but, like I said, it was interesting. It caught my attention. Is that really what it is? I don't know. We'll find out, I suppose, in November, because that's when it's supposed to be close enough to Earth that we'll know more. In the meantime, roads are drying here in Pittsburgh, because for the moment, rain has stopped, but that's the whole nature of scattered showers and thunderstorms. MoDOT camera 20th and range line. Again, roads here still pretty wet. We got a little shower, a heavier shower, really, that developed right on the west side of Joplin, or almost right over Galena. Pushed east, dropped a fair amount of rain. It has stopped as well for the time being, but Skywatch Storm Tracker, this is what we're looking for. It's the new development that's progressively going to start to take place back behind the bigger complex here. In fact, right now, the only cloud to ground, I do want to emphasize again, Skywatch Storm Tracker, the lightning detector picks up on cloud to ground lightning, not cloud to cloud. So, but the only cloud to ground lightning we're getting, and these are actually becoming older strikes here. We're in parts of eastern Nowata County, western Craig County, and northeast Oklahoma. All of this, of course, we did have some severe thunderstorms with this activity overnight. We had a few of those yesterday evening as well. No severe weather is expected. What you can see is obviously a dying line here, and no severe weather is expected with what we're looking at into the afternoon, but a strong storm might try and flare up. So we'll have scattered storms. They start to kind of wind down by, really become more isolated rather, by late morning, but then we're expecting some new development to take place, and so some of us may get a few more scattered showers, thunderstorms out there through the afternoon. Others may not see much more of anything beyond what you saw early this morning. 72 in Joplin, 70 in Pittsburgh. These temperatures are absolutely beautiful. We've got low mid 70s out there. Now some of us, again, Veneta, Grove J, for example, the front hasn't pushed all the way through. The rain hasn't made it down there yet. Still a little warmer. And then look at Sedan, 69 degrees. In fact, it was about 80 when I walked out the door this morning in Joplin. So temperatures there already dropping and dropping for many of us. All right, I told you I'd fix these temperatures. Mid 70s by 9, upper 70s by noon, low 80s by 3, low to mid 80s for our highs. Those up north might get a little more sunshine, might be closer to the mid 80s. Scattered storm chances will gradually begin to wind down later today, and we'll have northeast breeze 5 to 10. We're going to look at your forecast, talk about the weekend and how nice it's going to be, and then when Mother Nature brings the heat back here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, yesterday morning, Angels Cafe returned to the Crawford County Fair, serving up breakfast, lunch, and dinner to support those going through cancer treatment. The event, run by volunteers, raises money for Kansas Angels Among Us, a nonprofit that's been helping patients for 25 years. Now, for one longtime attendee, it's a chance to give back and catch up.
To be able to come in here and meet up with people that maybe you didn't see since last year. It's have a good meal, come in out of the heat, and just meet up with all our friends and neighbors from the county.
This is the 19th year the cafe has been at the Crawford County Fair. As a new generation of attendees head to the fairgrounds, one group has spent years working to preserve and honor the past. KOAM's Samantha Walker has the story.
A cut of a ribbon marks the completion of the preservation of 4 historic buildings at the Crawford County Fairgrounds. The Restore the 4 project is something coordinator Susan Thom has spent countless hours on over the last 4 years. She says these buildings are significant to Crawford County.
They were built in 1936 by the Works Progress Administration, which was a federally funded program to make sure people could get work who needed it. The role I want them to play in the future is to continue housing activities here at the fairgrounds for people to use in the future.
Using original fire maps, organizers worked to preserve the layout and uses of the buildings. They replaced roofs, painted and redid walls in the commercial, open class, and 4-H exhibit buildings, as well as the small animal barn.
These are historical, and we were blessed to have been part of the WPA who saw fit to build this here. We're lucky enough to have it, and we've got to maintain it. That's the deal.
And these buildings won't just be used during fair season, but year-round, especially by local 4-H members who've utilized them for decades.
We're allowing these beautiful historic structures to have a new life.
And current 4-H members didn't just sit by as this preservation work was happening. They joined the efforts to try to bring these buildings back to life.
That's just kind of what 4-H teaches you. It teaches you once you start something, you got to finish it, and you got to do it right. There's a lot of things that we could have done that would have made it perfect, but that wasn't the goal at the end of the day. The end of the day was to make them look better and to make it to where they're going to last another 100 years, and I think we did that.
As 4-H member Gavin Huber works in one of the preserved buildings, making ice cream for fair visitors, he's reminded that now in another decade, another team can do the same.
It's nice that I was able to help build something and fix something that the younger and the future generations are going to be able to use, especially like my siblings and some of my younger cousins. It's cool to look at it, to come back and be able to say I was a part of this and I did a lot of work on this.
And after 4 years of dedication, Thom is proud to see all 4 buildings finished and in use this fair season.
I will remove all keys from my key ring. I'm going to change my phone number, and I'm done. I did this out of love for this place and out of respect for my parents and my grandpa. We accomplished that. We're going to move on.
Reporting in Crawford County, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Now, the preservation of these buildings was a large community effort with more than 90 volunteers helping out. The project was largely funded through grassroots donations from local residents, businesses, and organizations. Well, residents at medical lodges in Pittsburgh have been relocated due to what the facility calls environmental concerns. According to medical lodges officials, the transfer of the residents was taken out of an abundance of caution to ensure everyone's health and safety. The residents are currently at the Frontenac location. A remediation company is investigating the situation at the Pittsburgh location. Medical Lodges says there have been no reported injuries or health-related incidents. Well, Special Olympics athletes hit the lanes for some serious fun and competition yesterday. Teams from more than 12 different regions in Kansas hit the holiday lanes in Pittsburgh. The competition started yesterday and continues today with teams advancing to the state level.
Kind of give them the gold ticket to go compete at state. So of our teams that are competing the next 2 days, we have about 8 different teams that will be competing at state next weekend in Kansas City.
I like bowling. It gives me something to do. It really helps me out.
Now, each team plays will be automatically able to go to state. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The Federal Reserve defies President Trump's demands, keeping interest rates unchanged for the 5th time this year, despite pressure to cut. Also, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg says superintelligence should be for everyone, and it's coming through calls and taking videos. We'll have the latest. Time now, 5:38. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Well, in Consumer Watch, the Fed brushed off President Donald Trump's demands to cut interest rates, keeping its key short-term rate unchanged for the 5th time this year. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell also suggested that a rate cut in September is less likely than some economists have expected. Powell says it will take time to assess how the Trump administration's increased tariffs will affect inflation and the economy. Those tariffs are said to take effect on goods from dozens of countries tomorrow. A new CBS News poll finds the majority of Americans think prices of things they buy will go up a lot or a little in the next few months. totaling 66% of those surveyed. Views of the economy are still negative, but have ticked up a little bit, with 39% saying the economy is good compared to 36% a week and a half ago. Now, the majority of Americans also expect to make fewer large or optional purchases in the coming months. And Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg's vision of the future of superintelligence involves glasses. Now, he posted a video on X saying superintelligence should be for everyone, and that personal devices like glasses that see and hear what we do throughout the day will eventually become our main computing devices. Meta has teamed with eyewear makers on AI glasses that handle tasks including making phone calls and taking pictures and videos. And that's it for Consumer Watch. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're taking a live look downtown Pittsburgh. Again, their roads have dried out a bit as you're in between showers. That's the nature of scattered showers and storms. More of them, at least for some of us, are expected later today. We're going to have another look at your forecast, talk about the rain and the cooler temperatures when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now is 5:43.
Well, if you hate needles, there could soon be a new way to deliver vaccines. In today's Ag Day Minute, how something in your medicine cabinet may be the solution.
I'm Clinton Griffiths with today's Ag Day Minute. We're following a developing story in Nebraska, a deadly explosion at a biofuels plant. Ag Day affiliate KMTV3 News Now supplying this video and tracking the latest with us. Now, we know that 2 girls and an adult are confirmed dead at Horizon Biofuels in Fremont, northwest of Omaha. The plant makes animal bedding and wood pellets for heating and smoking food. Investigators strongly suspect the blast was caused by wood dust in the elevator portion of the plant. It's a summer favorite. We're talking about watermelon, and watermelon's popularity is supported by strong U.S. production. As you can see, Florida leads the way when it comes to producing them, accounting for almost 1/4 of total output. Georgia, California, and Texas collectively harvested an additional 45% in 2024. And flossing may one day be good for more than just your teeth. Researchers at North Carolina State University studying whether floss could be a way to deliver needle-free vaccines. Now, they developed a special kind of floss to deliver inactive viruses to the gum lines of mice. As you can imagine, flossing a mouse is quite difficult, but they found when they flossed them with an inactive flu virus, the mice survived. All the unvaccinated mice died. Now, they're working to refine the technology. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on the station or get updates over at agweb.com.
Now here's Chris with a full look at your forecast.
Yeah, we are going to start with the Skywatch Storm Tracker, taking a look at our showers and storms out there this morning. Not a lot happening. In fact, most of this has begun to die out. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in here a little bit. And again, hopefully this is now officially working for me, because here lately it's been a pain in the, well, see, it's still going to be a pain, isn't it? Okay, there we go. Now we're in business. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to start down here. We've got some showers into parts of Jasper County, so around Jasper, just to the southeast of Carthage. Got some more rain starting to roll into the Joplin area as well, and it stretches back into parts of southeast Kansas. We've got more showers really entering the western portions of Newton County. So Seneca just starting to get into Neosho. We head down south, some heavier showers just outside of Goodman and to the northwest of Pineville out there. And we've got, again, new showers or new storms beginning to try and develop back behind all of this activity, especially the parts of southeast Kansas. So if you watch here, you can see some of this new activity flaring up. And the only actual thunderstorm activity, in terms of at least cloud-to-ground lightning, is with this activity, parts of Washington, Newada, and Craig counties, and it's again pushing off to the east-southeast. So what we're expecting, though, over the next several hours is eventually more storms. And you can see, again, if you just watch very closely right here, this line, we get new development taking place. We'll get more development as we go through the morning, but our storm chances today very scattered. So not everybody's going to receive rain. In fact, some of our far northern counties, let's say the 54 corridor north, you may be just about done with the rain. As we roll into the afternoon, the bulk of any new development should be off to the south of that. So scattered storms, they get a little pauses here and there. Well, then we'll see new scattered storms pushing through again, really south of 54. And even then, they're still going to be isolated to scattered. So not everybody will get rain out of that activity. And as we head into the afternoon, it will eventually die on out. Future Future Track thinks maybe a stray shower, rumble of thunder is possible overnight tonight south of I-44. It's a pretty low chance. I know Future Track shows a lot more rain here. It's honestly a very low chance at this point, but if that changes, if it increases a little bit, we'll let you know for sure. And then as we head into Friday and Saturday, it's looking fantastic. It's going to be a bit breezy overnight tonight, but temperatures will continue to remain below normal. Take a look at these numbers. I like these numbers. I wish we could have these numbers all the time. These would be good numbers. We're going to be into the just climbing into the mid to eventually upper 70s. Some scattered storms out there for some of us. And again, remember yesterday we started at I think it was 81. We were 93 by 11 o'clock in the morning. So today much better out there for sure. Heading into the afternoon, low to mid 80s. Now again up north, you may get a little more sunshine. You're going to be a little drier as we head into the afternoon. So you may get closer to the mid 80s, maybe 86, 87 out there in some spots. But most of us should remain low to mid 80s because even up north, you may not get much more rain today, but you'll still have mostly cloudy skies, so you won't get nearly as much sun, but you might get a little more than your neighbors to the south. Northeast winds 5 to 10. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies once this all wraps up through the evening and overnight. Mid 70s by 10, and then like I said, it is going to feel downright almost cold tomorrow morning compared to where we have been starting our days near 80. We'll be in the mid 60s, and it'll be breezy. Northeast winds gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour, and the pleasantness just continues, at least for a few days. We go low mid 80s on Friday and into Saturday. Sunday, seasonably hot. Yeah, it's 90, it's hot, but that's about where we should be for this time of year. Looking at thunderstorm chances scattered initially and the better chances late Sunday into Monday. And because of that, and then the cloud cover that's expected to stick around for Monday, will fall back into the mid 80s one more time. Then we are looking at the potential return of the summer heat and potentially dangerous heat again as well, unfortunately, as we start climbing upper 90s close to 100 next week, which means, of course, our heat index values will rise accordingly as well. That's a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with sports.
Well, we're just days away from the Little League Baseball Midwest Region Tournament, where the 12 and under Pittsburgh All-Stars will take the field to represent the state of Kansas. Yesterday, the All-Stars hit the road for Whitestown, Indiana, but not before receiving a special send-off from the community that included, as you can hear, a police escort. Playing in big games is nothing new for this Pitt squad, but as they get ready to play on a national stage, the emphasis is to enjoy every moment and be ready to go when it's game time.
A lot of them play in some pretty big games all summer long, so I haven't really had to prepare them much for big games, but none of them are as big as the stage we're getting ready to go to. You know, they're getting interviewed by all sorts of people, and it's just super fun for the kids. But just the preparation from that standpoint, we just gotta, you know, have fun with what you're doing, but then when it comes time to play, you got to focus on that.
The Pitt All-Stars will open the tournament with a matchup against the Webb City All-Stars, who are representing Missouri. You can watch the game on ESPN Plus at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. And that's it for sports. We'll be right back. Well, yesterday we heard from crew of the NASA Artemis 2 mission to the moon. They're set to make the voyage in April 2026 at the earliest. The crew of 4 will launch from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, flying around the moon and back on a 10-day journey. Artemis 2 Commander Reed Wiseman told reporters the team is excited to be a part of the next generation of lunar explorers. And fire crews in Arizona are still working to contain 2 major wildfires that have done serious damage near the north rim of the Grand Canyon. The Dragon Bravo fire and White Sage fire have now burned more than 90 square miles combined, along with dozens of structures, including the park's historic lodge. Lightning strikes sparked each fire. Strong winds and low humidity are now fanning the flames.
And we've got the opportunity for some scattered storms across parts of the area through today. We're seeing some new development into southeast Kansas, and again, emphasis not anticipating anything severe, but we could get a strong storm or two out there as we roll through the afternoon. You can see the clouds. In fact, it is raining in Joplin again, because if you look close enough, there's the raindrops you can see falling from the skies. Mid 70s to start, upper 70s by 11 o'clock. Our temperatures today so much better than where they have been here lately. In fact, we will be below below average. Many of us upwards of almost 20 degrees cooler for our highs today than where we were yesterday. If you recall, we were pushing about 100 degrees for highs and no major heat index values to talk about today. It's so nice. I know we're getting the rain. I know it means you got to be indoors a little more, but still, these are better temperatures. Low to mid 80s out there for most of us. Northeast breeze 5 to 10. We'll have mostly cloudy skies. Showers become considerably more isolated by about 6 o'clock. We should clear out from the rain, but again, still mostly cloudy through the evening. Gusty winds overnight, mid 60s, and those northeast winds gusting to 20. Still hanging on to a northeast breeze 5 to 10 tomorrow. Tomorrow and Saturday look fantastic. So I know it's raining today, may not be able to get stuff done outside. That's all right though. You'll have Friday and Saturday to get stuff done, low to mid 80s. Then we go into Sunday. We got those thunderstorm chances, and it's a low chance. They're going to be isolated to widely scattered. We'll get a few more of them overnight into Monday, and then mostly cloudy skies for Monday, keep our temperatures back below normal again, and then that's it. It is still summer. It is going to be really August-like as we roll into the second half of next week, and the potential for dangerous heat returns back into the upper 90s by next Thursday and Friday. That's Check of Your Forecast. We've got another hour of the KOAM Morning News right after this.